back. We are back with another HEF podcast. The HEF podcast is the podcast of the Home Education Foundation, which is an organization started by our founder and favorite person ever, Brenda Dickinson. Just after her and her husband Craig Dickinson and Representative Daniel Webster and several others from that pioneering era worked diligently to produce a bill that became law that spelled out specifically that parents could educate their own children with their own standards in their own way. Placed it right there in Florida statute. Before that, parents' only avenue to homeschool their children was to enroll in a private school and kind of keep your kids to yourselves, put them in the closet, make sure nobody saw them until the public school kids were also home. And that just didn't sit well, all of that hiding and loopholing. So Brenda and Craig set out to make sure parents had the direct right, spelled out in statute. Now, obviously, that's not what gives us the right. We believe that our rights come to us from the duties placed on us by our Creator. But it's always great when the state will pin it on paper, recognize it, and protect it. And that's exactly what happened. And we thank Brenda and those early founders for the work that they did in 1985. And we carry that torch here at the Home Education Foundation as we move forward. And the parents are with us in the free state of Florida. They support us. We had our annual fundraiser last year in August, which was our first ever official. Can you imagine that? Brenda, the year that she retired after 40 years of being the parents' voice in the Capitol, finally has an official fundraiser. We were very glad to do that. We're very thankful that the parents backed us in that. We had a home education family put forward a donation match challenge, and we have secured another sponsor this year for the same event, and we look forward to moving forward on that. If you go to our website, you will actually find under the support the donation match challenge, and there are details about a design contest. What you're seeing on the screen now is actually our challenge coin from last year's event, and there will be a new one, and perhaps a student that you know who's a homeschool student across the state of Florida will be the one to design it. So all of your details for submission and all that are on the page. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in our Discord and ask those questions. We look forward to seeing what you have for us. We also are thankful for our top sponsors, Arete, FPEA, Fisher Precious Metals, and TBHC Group. FPEA Convention was an absolute awesome place to be this year. If you missed it, you missed the largest homeschool convention in the world. There were thousands. I keep hearing numbers of different kinds, but I've heard everywhere from like 17,000 to 18,000 plus. It's somewhere in that ballpark. It was massive. People were everywhere. I almost lost my voice. It was fantastic. But we're very thankful that they're one of our sponsors, as well as the TBHC Group is the Tampa Bay Homeschool Conference, and their conference is coming up. And we plan to be there as well. So if you missed us at FPEA, get over there to TBHC Group and find your registration button and come see us over there as well. We have a unique conversation prepared for today. It's just sometimes a bit of a challenge. We also have some special guests with us. So I will introduce our special guests, and then I'll dive into our conversation. My name is Jason Crawford, and I am the new lobbyist for the Home Education Foundation, carrying the torch and taking over for Brenda. We have with us on the bottom of the screen over here, Brenda Dickinson, and we have with us Beth Potter. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm just now seeing that your name is longer than that, and I'm like, oh no, what did you prefer to go by? I didn't ask. All right, so Beth Potter is with us today. She's a homeschool mom out of the Pensacola area, and she had posted something interesting on Facebook that I can't wait to get to, because it pairs up exactly with some of the things that we've been saying lately. But she has launched her children, and it's a really cool story. So we look forward to diving into that. We love seeing all the parents across the state of Florida take back being the parent and wanting to be involved and raise their kids. And man, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. So this past week, I was at an activity with my kids, and it was they were doing their activity, and I was sitting off watching, and there were other parents around too. And it's not a homeschool only event. So these were parents, and I just caught one of the things that one of the dads said as we were sitting there, and it really bothered me. He said he was complaining that it's only been a week. He said, "It's only been a week and I'm done with it. I already can't wait for them to go back to school." And I'm like, wow. He said, "We have to find summer camps quick. I don't think we can have them home all the time." But I'm like, I'm sitting here just scratching my head, because at that very moment, I'm also on the phone handling messages going back and forth with parents from across the state who are, fighting for their rights to have their kids and homeschool them and participate in the extracurricular activities at this school or that school. And people are bullying them out because they don't understand, what's required of them. And I'm talking to some of our state leadership at the same time, and I'm sitting there like knuckle deep in these fights. And I hear that off the side, and Brenda, it lit me on fire. And I got a difficult thing to say today, because I thought about not saying it, but man, fathers, you lead your house. If your child is becoming the kind of person you can't stand to be around, that's your fault. I won't mince words. I'll just say it plain. That's on you. If a business owner complains about its employees without doing anything to address those complaints about his own company, it's no one's fault but his. Steer better, lead better. If you don't know how, it's not an excuse, just an observation. Now set to addressing that. Learn, adapt, build better. You owe it to the ones you're leading to be the leader they can follow. It's only been a week and I can't wait to send them back kind of statement says more about your lack of leadership skills, patience, and understanding than it does about your child. The child is a child. They're going to be children. That's what they are. It's our duty as parents to raise our boys to be men and our girls to be women and our children to be contributing adults. Speaking of that duty, it hurt to listen to that, because as the parent, it is our duty and no one else's to raise our kids. And that's the real issue. That's the real issue facing us, is that parents are wanting to abdicate their children off to someone else to raise for them. This is hard. I don't want to do it. It's hard. It takes effort. It takes sacrifice. It's a blatant example of what's really the problem across the board. Parents just don't want to be parents. We've got a declining birth rate that also says that that's also the case. And the issues are, the real issue here is parents are really just looking more for daycare, I think. So I'm just going to say it. So many parents want to get on with their life and ignore their kids while they hope the system will raise them. And if you take away their daycare, they don't know what they'll do, but they'll get very mad. And amid the school choice movement, many have come out of the system, but they're completely unwilling to shoulder the responsibility of taking charge and walking in their freedoms. Not ready to raise their own children. They're just looking for a new daycare program, a choice. I have a choice of my next program. And that, to many, is what school choice is. That's why we don't talk about homeschooling here. We talk about home education. The education the parent themselves provides to their own children. That's what we protect. We need our home education community to embrace these new parents. But we also need to start being real with each other. If you look at Connecticut, homeschooling is facing attacks disguised as oversight and protection for children that parents can't be entrusted to do. We are in need of a massive awakening of parents everywhere to realize that you are the parent, the children are yours, and the world is your classroom. And that is what today is all about. It's been our motto and mantra for quite some time. The world is your classroom. And I have just seen a series of posts lately that have hit me with that square in the face, including an article out of, I think it was West Palm Beach. The Tallahassee Democrat posted an article, and I want to look at that article and get into it. But well, let's just start there because I found it very fascinating. The title of the article is even "The World Is My Classroom." Florida made it official, and it's an opinion article in the Tallahassee Democrat written by a 17-year-old student as she shares her experience with various educational systems, including schools in the Middle East, France, and Florida. The key points that in the article says that it contrasts her negative experiences in French International School and a Florida public school with her positive experience in her homeschool co-op. Florida's Opportunity Scholarship Program enabled her family to afford the tuition, books, and activities for all of that. And she goes on, and her name is Harper White, and it's a fantastic read. If you haven't read it, you should go read it. It is an absolute powerhouse article of what it means for the world to be your classroom. And as I was reading that and kind of texting that back and forth with our board, Courtney out of Northwest Florida sent me a post that Beth had put together. And so I want to go to Beth and talk about you have helped make the world your classroom for your kids as well. And I want to dive into that. Let me give you the proper introduction now that you're due, and then I'll stop monologuing.
Let me interrupt you for a moment.
Oh, okay, yes.
This young lady came from all of this world-class
the article.
In the article, and they have chosen to live in Bonifay, which is a tiny little rural community between Tallahassee and Pensacola. And she goes on to tell how wonderful the opportunity is, even in this small rural community, to home educate in Florida.
Yeah, it truly is an amazing read.